Welcome to Dad Tech, where we talk tech toys and gear for geek-centric dads. Today, I'd like to give you a desk setup tour for all things content creation and creativity focused that I do. I want to preface this by saying that this is not where I do my professional engineering work, and I realize that I'm extremely lucky to be able to bifurcate the locations where I do my 9-to-5 work from my content creation work. And trust me, I've lived in New York City apartments where you eat, sleep, shower, and work basically in the same room. So I realize that this is indeed a luxury and I do not take it for granted. With all that being said, I'm gonna run you through all the items that are here and how they help streamline my workflow to help me get the most out of the tiny slivers of free time that I have between being a full-time husband, full-time engineer, full-time dad, and a budding full-time YouTuber. If anything piques your interest, I have links down below if you want to cop them for yourself. Let's start with the brains of the system. I'm running an early 2020 Alienware Aurora R9 with an Intel Core i9-9900. It has 64 gigs of RAM, 8 terabytes of internal storage, and a 2080 Ti Ultra video card. I was initially kicking myself for not waiting for the 3000 series card to come out, but now, in hindsight, given everything that's going on in the world of video cards and silicon during this pandemic, I may have made the right decision by accident. This rig is pushing the 48-inch LG C10 as my monitor. I came from the Alienware 34-inch curved monitor, which was phenomenal, but this OLED from LG knocks it out of the park. And although I'm not getting the full 120Hz experience since I don't have a 3000 series graphics card, this screen is still astounding. It sports full FreeSync support for variable refresh rates and G-Sync compatibility that almost eliminates screen tearing. And input lag is virtually non-existent when you enable its gaming mode. You already know about the absolute blacks this unit can produce, but the vibrancy of the colors and its unflinching speeds when it comes to gaming is just unrivaled. Having this much real estate really makes multitasking feasible, and its low latency response means I don't have to make compromises when I game or when I'm editing. In terms of peripherals, I'm rocking the MX Master 2S in white for my mouse, which has yet to fail me. What can I say? It scrolls well, it's accurate, the battery life is great, and it connects to 2 other devices absolutely seamlessly. The keyboard is the wireless Logitech G915 in the 10 keyless format. It's slim, the build quality is excellent, and the keys are satisfyingly clicky with a premium feel. Also, whatever wizardry Logitech has engineered into this keyboard makes the battery life seem almost unending. They both sit on this very cool and extremely sturdy Grove-made wool felt mat, which has a nice premium feel while being unobtrusive. Since this is a creativity setup, sometimes I need some dope tracks to get the creative juices flowing, which I entrust to my beloved Shit Stack, consisting of the Shit Modius DAC and the Shit Magnius headphone amp. These are a great alternative if you're looking for the best audio reproduction from whatever digital audio device your source is. The build quality is premium all around, and for the price, considering hi-fi audio component pricing can get bonkers, it's a great value. These guys are either pushing my HiFiman Sundara headphones or the Audio Engine A2 Plus. The HiFiman Sundara is a great bang for the buck pick in the world of audiophile open back headphones. They're comfortable for long listening sessions and have a tight, clean sound, especially running through the Modius and the Magnius. They rest on this really cool headphone stand from Oki wood, which also serves as a charging dock, and I got them engraved because I'm extra as f***. The Audio Engine A2s have a rich tonality and a super focused clarity that belies its tiny form factor. I mean, look at these guys. They're super cute. I suggest that you angle them towards your listening position to get the best overall separation. I've also hooked up the audio engines to a Yamaha HS8S to really round out the low end and give it that full-throated low rumble that only a dedicated sub can give. This setup for its size does a great job when I'm gaming or watching some 4K content on my LG. For podcasting or voiceovers, I lean heavily on the tried and true Shure SM7Bs because they have that deep, rich, velvety vocal signature the SM7Bs are known for. That's hooked up to the Rodecaster Pro, which is basically a one-stop solution for all your podcast production needs. What's great about the Rodecaster is its ease of integration with Zoom. You plug it into your PC or your Mac, and it's automatically recognized as a viable audio device, allowing you to essentially run your entire podcast through Zoom, which is great during this time of masks and social distancing. As much as I love all of my digital devices, I almost always fall back on the analog input method of taking notes, drawing sketches, or making lists with, pen and paper. As such, I have copious amounts of note-taking implements, of which notebooks are my favorite. These notebooks from Leuchtturm have such a great character, and the paper feel is so satisfying. I also have a ton of these little field journals from Word when I'm out and about taking notes as well. And because I'm a drafting geek, I also love these pens from Statler. There's just no better way, in my opinion, to express thoughts, insights, emotions than through transcribing them through our hands, and this is my favorite way of doing that. As far as lighting goes, I installed this wall of Nanoleaf rhythm panels behind me. Well, let's be honest, because it's cool as shit. It does serve a functional purpose though, in that it does provide a great light source when you need it, but let's be honest, it's really just cool as hell, especially when you're playing music. I also have this table lamp from IKEA that has a Philips light bulb inside and is connected to the rest of the Philips Hue bulbs in the room. There are also 2 Philips Hue Play light bars behind the LG to add a bit more ambiance. Now let's talk storage. This desk has the perfect height to accommodate these YouTube ubiquitous Alex drawers from IKEA. These drawers are ubiquitous for a reason. They're cheap, they're easy to assemble, and they get the job done. I use them to store the ever-growing population of video production gadgets I think I need. I've used the P-Touch labeler to try to organize their contents, but failed about a week after. I'm convinced that I just need to go through the process of reorganizing everything like once a month for my own mental health. I've also installed 2 floating shelves to store all my cameras that I need access to regularly and their respective lenses. It keeps them out of the way of the kids when they're rug ratting about in this room, and it allows me the ability to identify them and get to them and switch them out quickly. Some of my favorite things on this desk have nothing to do with productivity or functionality, but has everything to do with who I am, which is a big kid at heart. The Hulkbuster here will always have a home, and check out my video here if you haven't seen that, along with Iron Man and War Machine, 2 fictional characters responsible for my nonfiction career. My spirit guide, Billy Ray Valentine, is always here with me as well, and to prove to people you can raise living objects, it's always nice to have live greenery, which I got from Bloomscape, and so far have not shriveled up and died on me. All of this is sitting on an L-shaped oak desk from Wayfair. Its form factor really maximizes the space of this portion of our family room, and the aesthetic blends in well with the rest of the room without being too ostentatious, and the grain looks great during B-roll shots for my product reviews. And finally, the chair in this setup might be one of the most comfortable and stylish chairs I've ever purchased. The Sail by Herman Miller has great lower back support and tons of adjustment capabilities to really dial in the perfect sitting position so you can comfortably create content for hours without putting your body through the ringer. I also love this design. It's understated but has a character of its own that makes it distinctive without screaming, typical gaming chair. This whole setup for me reduces the friction typically associated with content creation. It keeps everything accessible and helps me maximize the tiny amount of time I have to dedicate to my passion projects. And although this isn't exactly a Matt D'Avella minimalist setup, everything here has a purpose and its own place. Now check out my other videos here if you like my content, and help me get to 1,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel. And I'll check you next time.